Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Liam Lad channel. My name is Liam, and also welcome back to the first official episode of the F1 22 MyTeam Career. As you can see on your screen right now, we are just looking through the messages that our team have sent us. Big Andrea right here is talking about the new season, how promising it's going to be, and of course we have high hopes here at Liam Lad Motorsport, and we are hoping to get as far in as possible in this season. Pardon me, I don't know what's going on with my voice today, but as you can see right now, we're just putting on all the different activities, checking over everything, and I realized that we have a secondary sponsor, so we go through all this, just checking each weekly income, the goal bonuses, just seeing which one is perfect for us, and you know what one we can have on our car. So in the end, you'll see what one I actually go for. As I say, this is the commentary style, so I am just commentating over this, but here we go. We go for Equinox, or Equinox, however you say that, but we get that secondary sponsor because we are the middle team contender. And we go into the car customization, and then we start adding the sponsors to the car. So I'm just trying to spread them out a little bit. Obviously we only have 2 sponsors at the moment, so I can't be too great with this, but here we go, just adding them to every single part of the car. I'm not sure why, but looking at it now, it looks like the black of the car actually has like a little green tint to it. That's something that I may have to go back and look over, but on this back wing it looks fine, so I don't know, but when it's like that you can see it a little bit. But apart from that, we have 1,000 R&D points and $5 million in the bank to spend on whatever we please as we advance forward to try and get some more resources and more cash money as we get the boosted trophy on PlayStation. Here we go now, looking at the different R&D performances, seeing what we can improve, what we can add to the car to make it that little bit better, so we can be faster on the track to try and beat as many people as possible. Now obviously, because we are a mid-table contender team, we are going to be facing the likes of Alpine, McLaren, maybe AlphaTauri. It depends. We will have to see more on that when we get to the R&D screen again. Here we go, just looking through what I can buy, but I decided not to waste any of my money at the start, just because I need to see what we actually need improving first. So obviously we have to play the first race and see how that turns out as we go to the driver perks and put one onto the development feedback and one onto the social media team. So that will hopefully help in the long run as we get this first weekend underway of the 2022 season. Here we go then. We come into practice with our heads held high. This is the first weekend, like I said. Anything can happen. The team's excited. I am excited to see what happens. You can see Oscar Piastri, my teammate, over the way from me. As we read some of our messages again from the team, telling us about the weather and different developments that have been completed on the car, which is absolutely perfect. So there we go, R&D screen. So Alfa Romeo are actually up top as well, with Alpine, us and Haas underneath, which is brilliant. So that means we're going to have some tight battles, and hopefully this season will be an absolutely brilliant one. Hopefully you guys will stay around with me to see what happens as we make our way to Bahrain here under the floodlights, even though it's daylight, which is a bit strange. But here we are, the crowd is getting excited. There's Zhou Guanyu or Guan Yu Zhou in his nice shiny Alfa Romeo, wanting to get the season underway.
This is Mark. Just wanted to say thanks for trusting me as your race engineer. I won't let you down. The car's ready to go, but it's brand new, of course, so there may be a few issues here and there. We'll be keeping a close eye on all the data from here.
Thank you very much, Mark. As we go through the garage tutorials, obviously I've done all that in the past, so I don't need to know that. But as you can see, the car is looking quite slick from the inside as we go on and see what sort of practice programs and everything that I can do. Looking at the different car setups, I do actually go in and try and change a little bit to see what will maximize the performance and what I can change in the future as well, because it always helps to save custom car setups for when you're playing online and stuff as well. So I am having a little look through here, seeing what I can change. Even if it's little tiny adjustments, we still do it so we can adjust the different types of aerodynamics, downforce and everything like that. But I do eventually go over to the tires and put them all the way up. We want to fill them babies up. So here we go. Improve the pressure in every single one of the tires, and we are going to use this for this race coming up in Bahrain. As we get this first practice session underway, we go with the qualifying pace with the flying lap to see the overall pace of this car on the straights, whether it's in the corners. We're going to check it out right now. But here we go. The helmet is looking absolutely beautiful while the sun's shining down on it. The car is sounding great as we come round the corner with the sponsors around the top of the halo.
Okay, don't worry about tyres, just give it everything. In this test, we just want to make sure we can lap close to our rival's pace.
Okay, Mark, we will do our best for this. So here we go then. Our first flying lap of the 2022 season. Here we go then for the qualifying pace session. One thing I did notice straight away, which was the traction on this car actually feels really good for the start of a MyTeam career. But the problem is with the high speeds on the straight, and especially with these AI speeds this year on the game, it's going to be grueling trying to go up against some of these AIs, especially coming off the corners, going into them sort of straight, because they're going to absolutely just take off on me, and there's nothing that I can do about it, unfortunately, until EA and Codemasters decide to bring a patch out for the game. But here we go. As you can see, we've got a few areas which are green, but our delta is unfortunately down, and then look, on the straights we plummet all the way down to the red, which is not what we want to be seeing on our first lap of this career mode. But see, look, going around the corners, it starts shooting back up again, which is brilliant to see, because that is obviously where we are going to gain most of our time, as we have a bad corner there as we head up to the last corner of the Bahrain circuit. Currently 6th fastest lap, but we haven't finished a complete lap yet. Here we go now. Make sure DRS is activated, and we absolutely pelt it to the finish line as we go first. As you hear Mark say there, they didn't get the data because the car just doesn't feel as good as I was hoping. Like I say, the traction is really good on the car, and the cornering is pretty good as well, but the straight speeds, as you can tell there on the graph, it shows where we were good, and you can see the corners, the bendy parts of the track are either purple or green, and then the straights are just all red. Literally about 85-90% of the track was red there. As we come back to the paddock and have a little look around, here we go then. All practice sessions are now finished, as some of our staff members send us some messages, some information, some data about the practice sessions. As we make our way into the first qualifying session of this brand new MyTeam Career Mode series. I'm excited for this one. I can't wait. Here we go, going up to our engineer, seeing what's going on, looking at some data. The suit, the helmet, it's all looking perfect as we go in and change the car setup, which could be an absolute wonderful or devastating choice to make there going into qualifying, because we cannot change it again going into the race because we're going to have parc fermé rules. As we make it into the first corner, here we go. Good looking corner for the first section there, making our way through sector 1. And you can see Leclerc absolutely just taking off on us there on the straight. As always, we unfortunately dropped down to 22nd. But as we go through the corners, you can see how fast we are compared to the AIs. But then, as always, through the straights, they just take off on us yet again. As we make our way over to sector 2, here we go then. Look at that corner, how much time we've just gained there. Coming around here we go then, trying to keep up with Leclerc's ghost in front of us, making sure DRS is activated. So as you can see there, we lost a lot of time as my finger slips off of the analog stick there on the controller, unfortunately. Here we go. Go all the way around, make sure it's a nice corner. It's not as smooth as I'd hoped, but it's okay. We have no ERS, no DRS on this straight here, so we lose a few positions as we're weaving about. Going into the final corner, here we go then. Coming down the pit straight, can we gain a few positions? We are currently 8th as we activate DRS. Where are we going to start? That's a 9th place start, was it? Did it say? Yeah, there we go. 9th place start for our first Grand Prix in Bahrain of the 2022 season. I can't wait for this to get underway. Is it going to be a close battle? Is it going to be as good as we hope so?
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Leclerc, Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Thank you so much for that comment, Eddie Crofty. As Charles Leclerc gets pole, where's our teammate? As you can see, we got 9th. And Oscar Piastri puts it in a 16th place position, which is absolutely brilliant. I did not expect that. There we go. That's what we like to see. Liam Ladd Motorsport getting in there within the pack. There we go. Let's advance forward and make sure as we get our acclaim for the start of the weekend. But we haven't even started, baby. This is going to be absolutely brilliant. Here we go then, team acclaim. Let's get on from that as I take a little drink because my throat is hurting. Here we go then, as the screen loads up. Oscar Piastri opposite us once again before the most important day of his career so far, and mine. This is my first race, of course.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. We go racing today around the 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10.
There we go then, 2 DRS zones on this lovely Bahrain track. Here's the starting grid.
For today's race, a fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Sergio Perez and Sainz, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Anthony and Mick Schumacher, Ocon, Gasly, Lando Norris and Magnussen, Ricciardo, Oscar Piastri, Yuki Tsunoda and Sebastian Vettel, Joe, Stroll, Albon and Nicholas Latifi. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
So here we go then, looking at the different race strategies that are given to us. I take a little look at the fuel load as well. We have got 16.7 laps in there, but because we're on the medium length races, I'm going to lower that down a bit because we only have 14 laps to complete. So I'll lower it down a bit. I'll play around with it for a little bit, seeing what different times can come out of it. Lowering it and hiring it back up again. As you can see, the times changing in both of the strategies there. So we go with the default strategy and we leave the fuel load there at 16 laps. So just to make sure, because we have the formation lap as well, just to make sure that everything is okay for us. So here we go then, the formation lap of the first Grand Prix of the season, as we follow Alonso in 8th place.
Technical issues coming off the practice starts. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want you to bog down.
Well, thanks very much, Mark, for updating us. That's very good to hear that we don't have any issues, considering this is our first race. As we try and get the tyres warmed up a little bit on the formation lap.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good.
No threat. I don't think I've ever played Bahrain in the rain, to be honest. I don't think they hardly ever get rain, do they? But we keep behind Alonso, making sure we keep our position here. And you see the tyres are warming up pretty nicely because it is this lovely soft compound. And when the when the track temperature is warm, as it is in Bahrain, then that's perfect for the soft compound, and we should be able to feel them gripping nicely to the track surface below us, which is always a good thing to see as we make our way round here. So I'm wanting a really good start here in the first race at Bahrain. I want to get off the line very nicely, making sure to try and get alongside or ahead of Alonso as quickly as possible so we can move our way up the field as fast as I possibly can. But whether that will happen, we don't know, as we have our last little stint of warming up these tyres before we line up on our final grid position to start this Grand Prix. Here we go then, everyone is settling down, the nerves are settling in as we go and get a red to start off.
That's not an ideal placement in your grid slot. You're going to need a good launch at the race start.
I agree, Mark, that was terrible.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid
That was well and truly terrible by me. I should have got a purple there, but here we go then as we switch to the 5 red lights. And it's away we go on our first race of the 2022 season at Bahrain. Here we go then, flying down the side. We've already got Alonso as he comes up at the side of us to gain that 8th place back as Bottas goes in. Oh, and someone's made contact. Someone's front wings come off. I think it was one of the hazards, as we make a lovely move up between Russell and Bottas to get up into 5th position as we see the cars flying up here down the straight as Russell tries to overtake us. We go wheel to wheel. That is absolutely incredible off the start, but obviously George Russell in that Mercedes has got a much faster car than we have. But oh wow, as Mr. Verstappen and Leclerc go wheel to wheel up this little part of the track. Here we go then, Bottas is behind us, staying within closing distance of us as we stay in closing distance of Russell as we take that turn just a little bit too harshly. Bottas is going to be using his DRS as well.
That start was okay.
Thanks for that, Mark. As we use our ERS as well, get a little bit jumpy out of this corner, trying to chase down the back end of that silver arrow. Bottas still closing in on us, but we are making a little bit of a gain through them corners. That is going to be the perfect way for us to stay ahead of anyone in this series, is going to be the corners, especially on a setup like this. So, can we gain a little bit of time here on this pit straight on George Russell? We'll have to wait and see as Sainz takes over Bottas, and Bottas drops off. What happened to Bottas as he went into pit? Because Ocon took over him as well as we cut through here to lap 2. Excuse me, Sainz, I'll let him go through very easily because that is not my fight. He is a lot faster than us in that Ferrari as we let him go through. That is perfectly okay. But Bottas after lap 1 drops off out of nowhere. I don't know what happened to him. I didn't make any contact with him, I don't think. I haven't got any damage, I know that for certain. As Sainz starts to get away from us here. Switch to lap 4. This was a very, very strange race 1 as Ocon starts gaining on us a little bit down the straight. We have to use a bit of our ERS as he comes up behind us. Is he going to try and make a move? He does. He tries to, but we cut him off and close the door round the inside, as we think anyway. And here he goes, trying to make a move again, but it's okay. We leave him some room and we get through. Absolutely lovely stuff from the driver there as we go through and cut off Esteban Ocon and his teammate Fernando Alonso, both in them Alpines, or Alpines, however you want to say it. It's definitely Alpine. Here we go then. We struggle a bit through the corners there. Lap 5, the soft tyres are starting to get a little bit too worn for our liking. But it's okay. We're keeping the 2 Alpines behind us. And it's looking lovely. A P7 so far. Looking absolutely brilliant for us as we hit back here.
In this lap, push
Mark wants us to come in this lap to go on the mediums as Ocon is gaining ever so close to us. Yet again in the Alpine. Alonso not too far behind him as well as we take a little bit of that curve there. That is fine by me though. We just got to make sure to be on the defensive here on this straight because he gains a lot of time as we go slow around this corner here. But our ERS, our battery level is not regaining at all. It's not charging at all, which is a problem because when we want to defend against these cars behind us, it is going to make it extremely difficult, as you can see.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
As we get warned about our tyres, it is okay. There's nothing to worry about yet. As you can see, Sainz has flew ahead of us as we move it forward here. Going into the pit as Esteban Ocon stays out. And Alonso comes in behind us. There's a lot of change in the pecking order here. Can we get an optimal pit strategy here? Here we go. Lovely stuff. And lovely stuff from our pit crew as well as we attach them lovely medium tyres. Here we go then, coming out of the pit lane. Can we make sure we stay ahead of Alonso out of here? Of course we will. There's nothing to worry about here. As we come out and lock up a little bit there because this year's game has made it so hard to warm up any compounded tyre. Obviously soft being the easiest, but these medium tyres and the hard compound are absolutely ridiculous to try and warm up as we go extremely wide again. This is ridiculous. I can't get any temperature in as Alonso is just closing the gap to us. My throat is taking a beating from me shouting like this, but it doesn't matter. Here we go. Moving forward then. Oscar Piastri is in the pits.
Oscar's coming in for his stop now.
Can we get past him and make sure we secure a decent position for the second stint of this Bahrain race? And I think it may be looking perfect as we have 30% overtake for us. Coming down this pit straight. You look at all the cars in the pits. Oh, we've easily made it good for us there as Ocon comes out behind us. And Alonso takes his place behind Esteban Ocon again for that 8th and 9th position. But We are sitting pretty here at 2 seconds above the two Alpines, but unfortunately nearly 7 seconds behind that big side-podded Ferrari of the Spanish driver Carlos Sainz. The smooth operator is surely
So the gap to the car behind is 2.4 seconds.
surely making it smooth there in 6th place. Is he going to overtake Russell? We'll have to wait and see. But here we go on the 8th lap. Coming around this corner here, about to go on the straight as we take it a little bit too hard there on to the gas. But here we go. Like I say, not making...
Car ahead's coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead now running medium tyres.
Thanks, Mark. Not making much ground on the cars behind us. Like I say, the two Alpines behind us. And also, not really...
Okay, gap ahead is 6.1 seconds.
Not really gaining at all anything on Carlos Sainz and the Ferrari there as we switch to lap 10. And as you can see, we have gained a little tiny bit on the Alpines, but Ferrari
Gap to the car in front is 8.2 seconds.
Ferrari are sitting very nicely up there, right next to George Russell in the Mercedes. There's no way we are catching that car. So, as long as we don't make any mistakes here,
That's just 5 laps of fuel
as
remaining.
Mark says the same thing over and over again, as we make our way down this pit straight on lap 11. Here we go then, keeping the Alpines behind us as we go to lap 12. Here we go, you can see
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
positions 6 and 5. Sainz and Russell have absolutely legged it on us. They have flew there. Here we go,
Okay,
making it to the last lap.
lap of the race.
But unfortunately, there wasn't much action in this first race of Bahrain. I was expecting there to at least be a virtual safety car, at least be someone DNFing or anything. But there wasn't much action apart from off the start. I think it was Kevin Magnussen who had to go into the pits to fix his front wing, which was unfortunate for him. I don't know who we had that collision with in that first corner, but I saw that front wing flying off as we take our time through this last lap of the race. Taking it nice and easy, knowing that we haven't got much ERS, but knowing that the cars behind us too far away unless you make a massive mistake on this last lap. But we just take it easy because I know they are not going to gain much on us, and I don't want to wreck out on the last lap. So taking it easy, like I said, as we hear the fireworks start going off for our race leader. Who else would it be on this career mode
The car ahead is
than
12.0.
Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari? Takes the first win of the 2022 season. Bahrain, there we go. The Ferrari taking it to Red Bull as we come down the pit straight to take the 7th position, which is absolutely beautiful for Liam Lamb Motorsport in the first race. And you can see Oscar Piastri coming through for the 10th place finish. That's 2-point place finishes for the team in the first race. Who would have thought it?
Well, what a
Absolutely
drive
brilliant. But
today.
here we go, Ferrari.
today. And talk to me. What do you think it was
Absolutely
sealed the win?
loving life at the moment. Here we go, Charles Leclerc, as he punches the air to take his first victory in this MyTeam Career Series. What a car that Ferrari is turning out to be. But also the Red Bull of Max Verstappen in 2nd place. Here we go.
And a tremendous
Let
effort by Ferrari.
them enjoy their
The
podium
history is well
finishes
known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over
as
to see
Perez
them come
gets
out on top
3rd
once
as
again.
well. So that means Red Bull should be on the top of the constructors as Charles Leclerc lifts up his Bahrain winners trophy as we look into the crowd, or aka the Ferrari team. Here we go now with the champagne, getting each other soaking wet with the cars down there. Absolutely brilliant scenes for the two teams.
So let's Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, my driver of the day has to be Charles Leclerc. He was unstoppable out on the track today, weaving through the competition with ease.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Excuse me, sorry, Ferrari are at the top of the constructors, but as you can see, 7th place and 10th place for Liam Ladd Motorsport. Absolute perfect weekend to start off our career here, as Leclerc gets the fastest lap as well by an astonishing amount of time, which is surprising, as Lewis Hamilton gets 4th and Russell 5th. Carlos Sainz down the pecking order a little bit, which is surprising. But there we go then, getting the acclaim that we need. Moving on to level 2, which is perfect. And Oscar Piastri is sitting actually really nicely at acclaim level 6 there. As we get our championship points during the weekend to get that extra 125k. As Oscar Piastri gets some damage. £4,000 or $4,000 should I say. As we head back to the headquarters here to go back into the second round. But there we go then. Not much of an exciting race apart from the start.
The personnel department has asked us to deal with this. We have a couple of options here. Take your time. What you decide to do will have consequences.
As we get a little bit of, I think here about Piastri. Are we going to focus on his pace or awareness? We go with awareness because, to be fair, to get 10th in his first race, it seems like he's got enough pace there to suit us for a little while. So here we go then. We're on the 21st of March. The car looking nice as ever. We have 1,365 R&D points there and 6.64 million in the bank. But that's it for the first episode of this career mode series. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. The second one should be up tomorrow, which will be great. But apart from that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did and subscribe to the channel below. But I will see all you beautiful people in the next episode.